This episode brought to you by the Warriors in Quiet Waters Salute to Service, a night to remember, honoring America's veterans and active duty heroes. Dinner and a powerful keynote from retired Green Beret Lieutenant General Mark C. Schwartz, followed by live music. Get tickets at warriorsinquietwaters.org. All right, we're talking chamber music today. We're with Angella Ahn, who's the artistic director of the Montana Chamber Music, also a professor at MSU of violin and viola. I said that correctly. Also part of the Ahn Trio. You may have heard before with sisters Lucia and Maria. We're at her house. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you for coming.
And we'll also be talking to Monica Ohuchi, who's a pianist, chamber musician, and pedagogue. I'm going to find out what that means. And Kenji Bunch, who is an American composer and violist. Is that how we say that?
Yeah.
Okay, violist.
Demagogue.
First student at Juilliard to receive dual degrees in viola and composition.
That was a while ago, but I did it.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's so cool.
He's so fancy.
I know.
Guys, I'm honored to be here. You are all highly skilled and accomplished chamber orchestra musicians. Why are you in the foothills of the Bridgers in Belgrade, Montana right now?
I would say we're here because we love sharing music more than anything else. Don't you think? And as the artistic director of Montana Chamber Music, I get the incredible honor of inviting the most amazing musicians to Montana, and Kenji and Monica are here as my guests.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Yay.
Have you been
We're
to
so
Montana
honored.
before?
Yes, but not to perform ever. This is the first time I've ever played. How about you?
Yeah, this is my second time in Montana, but
Not to play.
not to play.
Wow. Montana premiere. Whoa.
Our debut.
And so tonight you'll be performing for an intimate crowd here at a personal residence. Tomorrow night you'll be performing at the music hall at MSU.
Exactly.
And then Saturday you will be in Cardwell, Montana.
At a ranch.
At a
river
ranch.
Yep.
How great. How does this happen? Tell me what is this about?
One of our probably most important missions is to share chamber music with everyone. So say you're a rancher, for example, and you've never attended a classical music concert, and especially a chamber music concert. It's just such an incredible feeling to kind of interact in that way, to actually experience how the other people are experiencing chamber music for the first time. It's so cool. But it's not just the new music goer, the new people that are going to music. It's kind of everyone. We want to make sure that we share our music with as many people as possible.
Okay.
The term chamber music sounds a little grandiose, and
I was about to ask.
But this is not a chamber. This is someone's actual house, and that's really what it is. It's just music meant for small spaces, shared spaces.
It's chamber music versus a full orchestra. Those are the kind of two.
So rather than experiencing music in like a cathedral or a concert hall, you're in a small room where the audience is close up to the performers. Mm-hmm. And it's classical music, or the instruments of classical music played by musicians who are trained in that tradition, playing point blank like this for people, so the listener can really not only hear the sound coming out of the instrument, but see the person making that sound and hear them grunting and see them sweating. And I mean. It's a pretty powerful thing, you know. We people. It doesn't matter what your beliefs. You can share food together, right? You can sit at a table and share food. You can sit in a room and experience music together in the same way. And I think that's what's so powerful about what we call chamber music.
My understanding that ChatGPT told me is that chamber music, it's more of a conversation between instruments as opposed to an orchestra. It's all sort of complementary.
Yeah,
Accurate?
I think so. I like to think of it as like basketball rather than football. Football is more like an orchestra. It's this big ensemble where everyone has their own little role that's really important, but they stay in what they do. And basketball is only 5 people on a team, and they have to really respond to each other and react to things in real time, and so it's a little different game.
Awesome.
I think the conversation thing is actually right on, because I think about this all the time. It's this conversation, intimate conversation that you're having with just a few people, or sometimes even just one person, but in this case 2, all 3 all together. And what's so cool is, just like in real life, you need to have your own voice and your own beliefs and your own opinions, but then you have to be really respectful of the other person's voice and the other person's opinion. And then you have this incredibly interesting conversation. And so to me, that's right on. Yeah,
Okay.
That's cool.
But it's got to be complementary. It's kind of like improv, the yes and. You can't step on the other instrument. You're not competing. You're not fighting. You're all on the same team. But like in basketball, maybe one guy has the rock a little bit more than the other if he's hot.
Right, and we rotate. Yeah,
Right.
That's cool.
You talk about kind of grunting really working. Monica, you play the piano, which I don't know that people really think of it as a physical instrument, but it is. You're spread out. You're doing pedals. Are you ever getting dinged up when you play the piano?
That's a really funny way to put it. It really is like a whole body experience. Like I'm using my 2 hands in really different ways all the time. And then I've got my feet in there, and I don't know, like it's like I'm like using all parts of my brain when I'm playing the piano. So yeah, totally.
Sometimes you're pulling something every now and then, coming back a little limp. Kenji, you mash up bluegrass, hip hop, and Bach. I know you're all over the map. How confusing is your Spotify algorithm?
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of out there. But that was my parents' record collection was that way. It's just a lot of eclectic stuff. And I grew up listening to all kinds of music with the same ears, the same attention and respect. And I didn't really realize there should be any hierarchy in music. So it's always been that way for me. And I have over the years learned that I want to just write what I want to hear, and it turns out I like to hear a lot of different things. So there's a lot of different influences that end up in there.
Can you attest to this? Like, if you look at his Spotify recommended playlists, are they just all over the map? You listen to everything?
Oh my gosh. Well, he's the DJ in our house. And so, yeah, I mean,
I wish Kenji was DJ in my house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I keep telling him that for my birthday, what I want is like a whole list of everything that we listen to in our house, because we listen to so much different music every day. I mean, like, it's really wild, like our breakfast playlist.
Give me an example. What would you put on right now if you had 3 songs in a row?
Well, I like there's a good mix of there's maybe 20% classical, 20% jazz, 20% pop, a healthy dose of world music. Like Afrobeat, things like that. I'm really into roots, Americana. I played, as you mentioned, bluegrass, and so and then like old like R&B, soul is a good representation of that. So yeah,
and then you're just jumbling all that up in the music that you compose.
Yeah, it's kind of a stream of consciousness, I guess.
I can't wait to hear you guys perform after this. I'm really excited. All right, here's one for you, Angela. Back when you were performing in palaces and posing in khakis for Gap ads with your hot sisters, did you always aspire to end up living in Belgrade, Montana?
Wow. There was a point in my life when I thought I would live in New York City forever. I really did. And what's interesting is until my trio started touring all over the world and the United States, I thought New York was America because we moved from Seoul when I was 10 and my sisters were 12. And I thought New York City is America. Like, I didn't know. And then when we started touring, it's like, wow, there's a lot more to America. I have to say, I haven't lived anywhere else for this long other than in New York, in America. And I am such a fan. Now I can't imagine living anywhere else. I've become I need nature. I need trees. I need to be outdoors. It's incredible. And we were talking about the air today, the air in Montana. Anytime you go somewhere and come back, it's like, wow.
It's noticeable. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I don't take it for granted. I really, truly love living here.
Compare some of these decadent, palaces and stuff that you've performed in to going to a bar and Pony and playing there. You probably weren't at a bar
I
and Pony.
love the Pony Bar.
It is great.
I love the Pony Bar.
But what kind of reception do you get there versus what you would become accustomed to on the global stage?
Well, when we go to Pony, we do play in that little white church. That's just so lovely. But I think that's kind of the magic of music. You could be in a church from the 3rd century or, I just played in the Capitol Rotunda in Helena, and that was so majestic. Or you could be in a tiny little mission church in St. Ignatius where I played a few weeks ago. Or you could be at a ranch, or an art gallery. It doesn't really actually matter. I mean, I think the place brings so much to the place, but it's really so much about the connection with the people that are there to experience the music with you.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like, there isn't that much of a difference. I mean, what do you guys think? You've played all over.
Yeah, it's I really agree with that. It's amazing how much more there is in common with audiences than differences. People chuckle at the same moments.
It's so true.
And, right?
Yeah.
In the music, and they'll get really excited and stand up and clap after the same things. And if there's any social experiment to see if people are the same, regardless of their background, it's play some music for them, see what happens.
In another interview of yours, I heard you talk about some of these small communities, and it's like we write off rural areas, I think, a lot of times, but there are creative people, there are musical people, that every community has its, little colorful weirdos. And when I first moved to Big Sky, I kind of felt lost until I started doing community theater. And then I realized, these are my people. I found them. And so that really resonated with me, that you're going to these places where there are people who love and long for what you're playing for them, but they don't normally have an opportunity to access it.
Yes, absolutely. Again, just going back to what Kenji said too, I do think music is this thing that there are no barriers. Like, everyone experiences music in that sort of, it comes to your heart way. You don't have to know anything about music. You don't have to be a musician. You don't have to have studied it. You just feel it. And actually, I serve on the Montana Arts Council, and I'm in awe of all the artists that live in Montana, in every part of Montana. It's just incredible. And I think it has to do with where we live. It's just so beautiful. It's like, it draws artists.
Inspiring.
Here. Yes.
Give me an experience that stands out from the rest from this kind of tour that you've been doing with Montana Chamber Music.
Well, we were in Lewistown one time at their little art gallery. And because we had never performed there before, this was the first time. Now we go to Lewistown all the time. But this was the very first time I brought a string quartet. And so there were only about 20 people in this little art center. And there were ranchers sitting there literally weeping. I mean, I couldn't believe it. And they talked to me afterwards and they said, I have never heard anything like this, like ever. And, you know, they were in their 60s or 70s maybe. So things like that really stand out to me.
Let's talk about intermingling family and music. Do you ever wish that you were normal and not like hardcore? You got to be talking about music at the house all the time. You with your sisters, you two are married. Yeah, your husband's composing for you. I mean, are all your fights about music?
Oh my gosh.
I think our kids probably wish we were normal sometimes.
A lot of times our son will be like, oh my gosh, we're such music nerds. You guys are such music nerds.
But he also appreciates it.
Sure.
He does, yeah,
Oh, totally. I mean, our kids both play. Our daughter's a violinist and our son's a cellist. And yeah, we just love music. We have it on all the time in our house. And
Do you have to compartmentalize though? Like, I mean, they talk about bringing your work home with you. Do you have to sometimes just put a pin in it and say, we're not going to talk about the music tonight. We're going to talk about something that's totally off topic.
oh my gosh.
Actually,
we go ahead.
No, I was just saying that a lot of times when I'm home by myself, it's silent. Because, you know, if I'm like working stuff out, it's hard to listen to something. So, yeah, I spend a lot of time in total silence.
That's really funny.
And how about you with your sisters? How often do you see them at this point? They're not Montana people, are they?
Right. So actually, after COVID, everyone's living in different places, so we don't get together as much as we used to. Lucia is the only one still living in New York City, but Maria's living in Florence, Italy. So it's definitely different from when we were all in New York together. But when we were in New York together, it was nonstop. And we literally had to say, okay, we're going to go have dinner and not talk about anything trio related.
Intentionally,
Intentionally,
okay.
Absolutely. You're right.
We were going to avoid the topic for the time being. I guess all three of you can answer this in turn. What is the piece that you kind of play on autopilot whenever you pick up your instrument or sit behind your instrument?
Wow.
Is there one that you just sort of go to?
That's a really hard one. I feel like I've always had Bach in my back pocket, just because it's just what I grew up on. But these days I feel like I'm going from project to project, concert to concert. And so I'm just like churning through repertoire. So I just have to be practicing what I'm supposed to be practicing in that moment.
Okay.
So,
You don't get to choose.
yeah, like I don't have a lot of like my own downtime anymore, which is awesome. But yeah, it's kind of like whatever it is that I'm learning next.
You still enjoy it though, or is it all work?
It's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it's funny because like sometimes I'll be telling people about what I do and they're like, oh, that sounds so fun. Like it must be fun. And it is, it's wonderful, but it's still work and it's still, you know, like, it's still like sometimes stressful and
There's pressure.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but it's at the end of the day, like I'll come home from a concert and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get paid to do this. Like, it's just I'm so lucky and it's so fun. And I get to play with my friends and I get to connect with people. And, so yeah, I just always feel super lucky.
That's great. And we'll do another sports analogy. It's like when I go to the driving range, I reach for the 7-iron, right? That's my go-to club. That's what makes me feel comfortable. And that's how I warm up. So what is that for you?
Well, I've written a number of goofy solo things for my just solo viola, if you can imagine that. They're ready to go anytime. Actually, I did that on purpose because the worst feeling was younger, as a student and stuff. people would say, "Oh, you're a musician, you went to Juilliard, blah blah. Play us something." And I'm like, "Oh well, I don't have anything ready right now. I mean, and this thing I need piano for." And I got tired of that, so I'm like, I'm just gonna write some stuff so I could have it ready to go anytime, anywhere.
Okay. For when you're put on the spot.
Yeah,
That's what you pull out.
I could play, like, if I got stopped at airport security and they're like, "Do you actually play the viola?" I'm like, "Yes, I can do that."
Funny that you should mention airport security. I do want to ask you guys about traveling with your instruments because it seems like a total hassle. I've tried to fly with like my skis before, and it sucks. It's stressful. I'm so nervous I'm gonna lose stuff. But for you guys, it has to be next level. You have these very expensive instruments.
It's hard. Yeah, every flight is a nail biter, and the particular thing with our violin and viola is you have to bring it on board with you. You can't check it, because it'll get just trashed, and it's there's been legislation specifically to allow musicians to bring these instruments on the plane, but in spite of that, there's still flight attendants who will just say, no, we're going to check that.
Oh no!
Yeah, I've had friends who've had to change their travel plans because of that.
Because you can't just say, "Oh yeah, throw it down below."
Yeah, no, you can't.
You got to keep this with you, and there's not like a special place on the plane
Well,
where they'll hold it for you.
You know what I've done a number of times? Sometimes if it's a really crowded flight and it's a bigger plane, I want to just get ahead of it. So right when I board, I'll, the first attendant who's there greeting people, I'll be like super nice and say, "I've got this weird viola. Do you have a coat closet you could maybe put it in?" And they're like, "Oh, sure." And, but the best, if I can just tell one flight story.
Yeah.
A lot of times I would say it's a violin because more people are familiar with that, and
you don't want to start a whole other conversation.
Yeah, well, it's a bigger violin.
That's so smart.
Yeah, so I just and I was on a United flight, and I got on, and I was going to put it in the overhead, and there was an attendant right there, and I said, "It's okay if I put my violin here?" And she's like, "That doesn't look like a violin." Ooh. Like, "Oh, it's actually a viola." She's like, "I was going to say, I'm a violist."
Wow.
And
Really?
She played in her community orchestra. Wow. And then she's like, "Let me take that to the coat closet in front." So it's like,
And you wish this would happen every time.
Yeah.
The enlightened airline attendant.
But at least you don't play cello, because if you play cello, you have to buy it a seat.
That's the worst.
Really?
Yeah.
My sister, I guess actually all of us, but because we were on the same flight, we have been literally taken off the flight with a purchased cello seat because the flight crew didn't like how my sister was putting the cello on the seat. And she wanted to do it upside down, which would be kind of dangerous because the neck is so fragile on the cello. But I think every musician could write a book, like multiple books about their flight experiences.
Not pianists.
Not-
No, that's where.
That's true.
You got your little keytar and you're just walking around the airport with it.
But literally, I obsess over airplane miles just so that I can have status, so that I can board easily.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, this is a thing for musicians.
What a headache. My God. Are you saying the cello does not have a case?
The cello has a case, but it's too big to put overhead or in the closet. So you actually buy a full price ticket for it. Yeah.
And it has to be in a bulkhead
Yes.
seat.
And then you still get lots of problems.
Yeah.
All right, the last question. I want you to talk to me about Fear No Music, this modern approach that you guys are taking, and it's all youth oriented, right?
Yeah, well, so Kenji and I are the directors. I'm the executive director, and Kenji's the artistic director of Fear No Music. It's a contemporary ensemble based out of Portland, Oregon, and we present concerts throughout the year. We have a 5-concert series, and we also work with young composers, ages 8 through 18, and we work with these composers throughout the year, and then present about 30 plus pieces in a world premiere concert setting for these young composers. It's very cool. There's so much awesome new music being written right now by young folks. And I think it's really like the only kind of program like it in the country right now. And so sometimes we have students Skyping in from California and from Florida, and it's really, really very cool.
It seems really cool. Like there are no rules, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No wrong answer. You just write what you want to hear.
I think that's awesome that you're doing that. That's great.
It's so cool.
See, I wanted to smooth things over after touching the nerve with the airport.
Happier place.
So I want to get into the performance. You guys are going to do a little sort of dry run rehearsal before your big performance tonight. Tell me what you'll be playing here for us.
What should we play?
Well,
You
yeah,
guys
what
should play
we
some of your new piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the new
I mean,
piece?
we also never did Magic Hour, the three of us.
Oh,
but-
yeah.
let's do
Ooh,
Magic
should we do
Hour.
that?
That could be
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the music?
Yes.
What is Magic Hour?
It's something I wrote for the Ahn Trio back in 2001. It is part of a larger work called Swing Shift, and it was about New York at night, at different hours of night. And I was living in New York at the time, and there's a really glorious magic hour in New York, the that hour of sunset when it's just like golden hue everywhere. And I just was trying to think of what that might sound like, so I came up with this little thing. I wrote it in a day, and it just one of those good days, just like, oh, that came out and it works. So
And you'll all be playing together on this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Outstanding.
so Kenji said he arranged it for piano, violin, and instead of the cello, viola.
The viola.
Yeah,
All right.
which is so cool. We get to play it together.
yeah.
We're going to rearrange some stuff and play it, and that'll take us out. So thank you in advance for playing this piece and for hosting and talking with me today. Kenji Bunch, Monica Ohuchi, and Angella Ahn, who you are about to see perform.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.